Oh, oh, I got it. All right. Okay, guys. Find your most comfortable seated position, whether that's sitting on a block or extending a leg out, or sitting crisscross applesauce, heel into groin, or maybe other heel into groin. That's full lotus, whatever you can do, okay? Let's find our breath. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Let it go. Inhale through the nose, fill those lungs. With this exhale, fog up a window. That sounds so beautiful. Inhale through the nose, and with this exhale, let go of any stress. And now let's keep the mouth closed. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose, fill those lungs. Try to find a pause at the top of that breath. And then think of slowing down the exhale through the nose, trying to find the emptiness. Inhale through the nose, fill those lungs, little pause. Slow down the exhale through the nose. Try not to go to the point where you're gasping for air. Find that next inhalation. Little pause. Slow down the exhale. So basically finding your perfect rhythm and flow of breath. With that next inhale, think of reaching through the crown of the head and lengthen the spine. And on the exhale, think of opening up the chest and allowing the shoulders to roll down the back. Inhale through the nose, fill those lungs. Exhale, lengthen the waist, sit bones down into your mat and in towards each other. Inhale, reaching through the crown of the head and lengthen. Exhale, broad collarbones. And then inhale, rib cage expands wide. And exhale, think of lengthening the waist and press the sit bones down into your mat and in towards each other. Hopefully you have found your rhythm of breath. You have found your spinal alignment. We're going to strive to keep both of these throughout the practice. Try to use this breath as a guide throughout the practice. Never move into a pose that hinders your breath. Take notice of the benefits of this breathing. Lowers the heart rate, the blood pressure, and your cortisol levels. It also oxygenates your blood, more oxygen readily available to transport your nutrients, antibodies, and flush out toxins, nourishing, cleansing, and healing the body. Let's do the same thing with our thoughts, cleansing our thoughts, welcoming positive, pushing away negative. Perhaps welcoming happy memories over the last few days. Let it drift in and out of your consciousness. Push away any list in your head. Perhaps being grateful for living in this beautiful state of Colorado with our gorgeous mountains. And push away any worries, any concerns. And I always like to start the practice by bringing to mind at least one person that I'm grateful to have in my life, maybe dedicating this practice to that person, and push away any thought of competition. Yoga is not about competition. And imagine as if the ventilation system in This room sucks up any negative energy and carries it out of the room, leaving us with an open, peaceful, grateful heart. So let's go ahead and change the crossing of the legs. Find the balance on the sit bones. And inhale, reaching through the crown of the head and lengthen. And on the exhale, rotate the chin towards your right shoulder. Inhale, bring it center. Exhale, rotate to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. One more time. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Let's hold that rotation. Think of softening the tissue in the neck and throat, shoulder and scalp. With your next exhale, just gently tuck that chin. And then inhale, slowly lift it to neutral position. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, left. Let's bring it center and then rotate to the other side. And first hold that rotation and breathe. Once again, trying to soften the tissue in the neck and throat, shoulder and scalp. And with your next exhale, tuck the chin. Inhale, left. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, left. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, lift, bring it center like you're pouring water on the top of the head. Here comes to shoulder. Inhale, left. Exhale, left. Inhale, left. As you exhale, lower, try to notice that you're not shrugging that shoulder up. Inhale, center. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Let's hold that lateral flexion of your neck. Let's grasp the opposite wrist. So my right hand is holding my left wrist. It's my right ear to shoulder. And by anchoring that shoulder blade, you are increasing the stretch in those side neck muscles. And then from there, just bring that gaze and chin slightly up, just a slight turn, and feel how it goes into that throat area. You might feel it a little bit behind the ear. That's where it starts. And then goes into that collarbone and sternum. Let's release. We'll hold the other wrist, ear to shoulder. Just hold that stretch, scalene muscle group. And bring that gaze up. And then release. Good job. Let's find our yoga strap. And we'll have it between our thumb and pointer finger. We start in a V position. And then we're going to let the strap glide through those fingers and come behind us to find our opening in our chest. Just kind of hold it there. So if you got there and it just does not, don't feel a stretch, you've probably let the hands go a little too wide. Bring it back in and then try again. So many things that we do. We round our shoulders, being on an airplane. It's really good. We'll add some movement to it where we bring it forward and we bring it back. And bring it forward and bring it back. Forward. Back. Let's hold it here and breathe. Maybe you'd like to add a gaze up if that feels okay in your neck. Think of that sternum opening with the breath towards the ceiling. And then let's raise it up, anchor your sit bones, and let's fold to one side. And then inhale, center, and exhale, fold to the other side. So now we're getting our lateral flexion of our spine. Hold and lift and fold and lift. So on this last one, we're going to hold it. Now, holding the dynamic stretch with this yoga strap is one way of holding this pose. Anchor your sit bones, and that actually works your obliques. It's a kind of an isometric, but I personally need stretch today, so I'm going to release that strap, and I'm just going to let my arm fold over. So more of a stretch than a core exercise. You can hold a little bit of each too if you want. Just whatever you need today. And then inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. First hold. See if you want to stay here for a few breaths maybe, but make sure that left sit bone isn't coming up, right? So we don't want this happening. I'm exaggerating, of course, but and then if you want the stretch like I want the stretch, I'm going to just release that strap. Bring the other arm overhead. Breathe. And then let's come on up. All right. So people at home, I'm going to face away from you for a minute, okay? So we're going to get a nice shoulder stretch with that yoga strap. Right hand holds the strap. My right palm is facing my spine. And this is a very common shoulder stretch you'd see in a lot of fitness classes where you kind of give it a little, I don't want to say push, but a little pressure to increase that stretch. Now, then you can take your left hand, it faces the back wall, and you creep up your strap. And so the idea is to try to get the hands as close together. If you're able to grasp the hands, then you don't need the strap. The strap is a really nice tool that might enable you to eventually get where you're grasping with your hands. And then let's switch sides. So the other hand folds. Remember that left palm is going to face the spine. Guide it down the spine, right? Give a little extra oomph there. And then bring the other hand up to the knee. Once again, if you're able to grasp with your hands, you don't need a strap. Just kind of take notice, the left is kind of getting the top part of the shoulder, and the right is getting the bottom part of that trapezius muscle, shoulder girdle area. Let's go ahead, put the strap to the side, and let's get our spinal twist. Left hand to right knee, right arm behind. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, find your rotation. Abdomen opening, ribs, chest, clavicle. Head is the last to turn. Adding gentle pressure against that right knee. If it feels okay, check in with your breath. By adding that pressure, does it hinder your breath? And then don't do it. And then let's gently release. Right hand to left knee, left arm behind. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, find the rotation. Abdomen, ribs, chest, clavicle. That is the last to turn. Adding gentle pressure against that left knee if that feels good. And then let's release. We're going to extend the legs. Bring you guys forward. So I'm going to have that left heel into groin. I'm going to have the, hold on one second. Here we go. Left heel into groin, that right leg extended, and you can put the yoga strap underneath the arch of that right foot. Now you rotate. So I'm not coming here, right? Real important to add that rotation to get the full benefits of this stretch. So inhale, lengthen the spine, exhale, fold. You could creep those hands down if that's better. Otherwise, you're hinging and you're bringing your abdomen as close to your quad as possible. And then you're tucking your chin and crown reaching towards toes. Now, if you can grasp the toes or the bottom of the foot with your hands, then you don't need the strap. Once again, strap is just a nice tool to add a little extra depth to this opening. And just feel all that you get with this. You get your hamstring, the back of the thigh, inner thighs on both sides. But what I really like is the nice lower back stretch on the left side. And then let's switch sides. Extend your left leg, right heel into groin. Once again, yoga strap if you need it. Got that slight rotation of your torso. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, coming over. Abdomen is close to quad. And then you tuck your chin, crown reaching towards toes. And just breathe into the pose. Feel the hamstring, inner thighs, lower back now on the right side. And then let's roll on up and come to all fours. We will use that yoga strap later in the class, okay? So coming to all fours, if you have knee issues and you'd like to create a little extra cushion, all you have to do is double fold that mat, right? So from all fours, we're gonna do our cat-cow, bringing our gaze forward. There's our inhale. And then on the exhale, we're tucking the tailbone under. We're rounding the spine, tuck the chin at the end for cat pose. And then inhale, reaching through the crown of the head, and you're shining your heart forward for cow. Exhale, cat. Think of the upper back lifting towards ceiling. And then inhale, reaching through the crown of the head, shine the heart forward for cow. Cat pose is spinal flexion. Cow pose is spinal extension. Think of lifting the upper back. Cat. Think of shining the heart forward in cow. Cat pose, the sit bones face your mat. Cow pose, the sit bones face the back wall. So we're taking our spine through that full range of motion. One more round of breath. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Let's bring that right foot forward, right between the hands. Left forearm on right quad, hand to sacrum. We hinge forward, we rotate, our gaze is towards that gym wall. Maybe you're gonna bring the elbow to the outside of that leg. Maybe hands coming into prayer, and we're lining the elbows up with each other, shoulders with each other. Think of lifting the abdomen off of the quad, and breathe. And then let's gently release, and we'll bring that right knee back. We'll bring the left foot forward. Right forearm on left quad, hands to sacrum, hinge and rotate. Adding on elbow coming to the outside of that leg. Hands together in prayer. Lining up the elbows and shoulders. Lifting the abdomen. Even checking into the weight distribution of those hands into each other. So it starts as a torso rotation. We start lining up those elbows and shoulders, and we start getting into the hip and shoulder girdle as well. And then let's release, and we'll bring that left knee back, and we'll bring that right foot forward. This time a full step in front of those legs, pigeon pose. Hips are square, side body long and lengthen. Lean a little bit into that front leg. Quad pressing back. Tuck the cheek under. Adding the back of our head doesn't feel good. Don't add them. do think of still opening up the chest cavity. Pigeon pose, heart opener, hip opener. And let's lower the arms, we'll shift back and sliding down over that leg or hinging for pyramid pose. Hands can rest, block, shin, or a mat. And head, you tuck the chin and crown reaching towards toes for pyramid pose. Try not to shift your weight over onto your left hip. Try to keep those hips square. Get that balanced opening in that hamstring. And if it's too intense, just bend that front knee a little bit. Let's bring that knee back. And the left foot forward, right foot and step in front of the hands. Hips are square, side body long and lengthen. And lean. Quad pressing back, tuck cheek under. And back. And breathe. Lowering the arms, shift your weight back, coming on that heel, gliding down, or hinging, and then tuck the chin, crown reaching towards toes. And breathe. Let's bring that left knee back. We're back to all fours. We're going to come into our first downward dog, curling those toes high, and find your downward dog. So I concentrate on the sit bones lifting towards the ceiling, the added opening in the hamstrings. Check in that all 10 finger pads equally pressing into your mat. Arms are energized, shoulders away from the ears. Hug them in center, and then think of lengthening the torso. Ribs lifting off the pelvis. Lower just the right heel down. Feel that calf stretch. Lift the right and lower the left. And let's pedal the feet. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If it's available, lowering both heels down, downward dog, stretching the entire posterior side of your body. If you get fatigued or dizzy in this pose, please feel free to bend the knees. Come down onto child's pose anytime you need it. We'll bend the knees, bring the gaze forward, walk your feet towards your hands, and then hand to elbow, and hang like a rag doll. Checking into the four corners of the feet, your big toe, pinky toe of the ball of foot, inner and outer heels. Also check in with your knees. I always recommend at least a micro bend, and if you need more of a bend, please do so. Let's sway those arms side to side, gently, slowly. That aids in opening up the hamstrings, hips. Nice rocking motion for the spine and even a different kind of shoulder stretch. And then bringing it back center, release the arms, bend the knees, and let's roll on up. And head is the last to lift. And let's find our mountain pose. All right, we have opened up all of our joints, so we'll go right into our warrior poses. So we'll have the right toes facing the mirror. We'll have the left toes facing the cabinet wall. My right stance though. Float the arms up to 9 and 3. Bend that right knee. Find your warrior 2. You determine how deep you go on your lunge. But let's check out the knee is not falling in. Use your adductors to press it out. And then make sure that you can see your toes. Knee doesn't go past those toes. Looks good. Back leg, trying to get as straight as possible. Quad pushing into that hip socket. Shoulders are down the back. Everybody looks beautiful. Straightening the leg, lower the arms, right toe facing cabinet wall, left toe facing back wall, float the arms up to 9 and 3, bend that left knee, find warrior 2 on this side. So the left knee is gently pressing out, see the toes, arms are energized away from each other, gaze is over that left hand, right quad, pressing the hip side, tuck the cheek under, and breathe. Left toes face cabinet wall, right toes face forward. We're going to take the left toes, turn it in that 45-degree angle, so that when you have your hands on your hips and you rotate forward, you don't get into our lower back, bending this front knee, and find our warrior 1. Palms face forward, right in front of left. Let's just press back towards the wall behind us. Open the chest again, like we do with the yoke strap. Feel that spiral effect coming up that back leg. Think of the ribs lifting off the pelvis. Breathe. Straightening that right leg, lower the arms. Right toe facing cabinet wall, left toe facing back wall. We're going to take the right toes, turn them in a 45-degree angle, hands on hips, rotate the hips to the back wall, bend that left knee, energize the arms first. There's your warrior 1. If you prefer to stay here, that's okay with me. Palms face the back wall. Now it's the left hand that comes in front of the right. So look at the leg that's in front. That's going to be the hand that's going to be in front. And then press it towards that near wall. Breathe. That spiral effect can get that back leg. We're going to lifting the ribs off the pelvis. And breathe. Straightening that left leg, release the arms and lower. Left toes face cabinet wall, right toes face mirror wall. Float the arms up to 9 and 3 again. Bend that right knee. We're back to warrior 2. Moving through the warrior 3, balance pose. Left hand comes to me right. I hinge from my waist. I look for my focal point on my mat. Weight on this front leg. You can launch the back leg if you don't have to. You can drag it and then lift. Even if you're 2 inches off the mat, you're balancing. That's how you get started, right? Maybe you can lift it in line with the hip, maybe not. It's all good. You can get the toes to face the mat. That just helps balance out your hips. And then maybe eventually reaching those arms towards your wall as you reach through that back heel towards the back wall. Bend that right knee, place that left foot down, open the arms, and lower. Right toes face cabinet wall, left toes face back wall. Now let's make sure that heel is in line with the opposite arch, right? Left heel in line with right arch, hands on hips, hips start facing the cabinet wall. That helps us with our alignment. Float the arms up to 9 and 3, bend that left knee. There's our warrior 2, and then bring right hand to the left. Weight on that left leg, and drag or launch, and then lift the back right leg. 2 inches or wherever you can go. Find that focal point on the floor, really helps. And the gaze is down, because that lines your head up with your spine. If you're looking towards the back wall, you're putting stress on your neck and you're not in proper alignment. Breathe. Bend the knee, place the right foot down. Let's open the arms and lower. So left toes initially face the cabinet wall, right toes face mirror wall. Let's take a step in with the back leg, find our cross-country skiing tracks, and interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, bring the gaze up, and exhale, fold over that right leg for pyramid on this side. Abdomen's close to quad, then I tuck my chin, crown towards toes, and then if it's available, lifting arms towards the ceiling, maybe towards mirror. Too intense on that hamstring bend, that front right knee, it's okay. Release the arms, place them on either side of that right foot. Take a step back with the right, and the left, arm downward dog. Lift the left leg. Swing it through to come between those hands, and then come standing. So that left toes are facing mirror wall, and right toes are facing gym wall. And now a slight change, we want our heels in line with each other. And hands on hips, the hips are facing that gym wall. All right, we're coming into our triangle poses. Just a reminder, we do a little added step to protect our back with the triangle pose. Easing into it, okay? So float the arms up to 9 and 3. Shift the right hip to back wall, reach to mirror wall, windmill the arms. See where that hand lands and just see what that feels like. Any twinging in the lower back, you may need to bend that knee today and ease into it. Okay, so feel free to do that. Second half of the pose is coming into this hip. So I always just kind of check out where my knee is at. Kind of turn, fraction of an inch towards the mirror, and kind of ease into that hip. And then the third part of the pose is bringing the gaze up towards that outstretched right hand. And if that doesn't feel good on the neck, don't force it. Slowly coming out of this pose, reaching for the top fingertips and coming out. Let's have the left toes face the gym, right toes face the back wall. Float the arms up to 9 and 3. Shift the left hip to mirror, reach the back wall. Windmill the arms, just first see where that hand lands and see what that feels like. If you need to turn down that knee, do so. Otherwise, can you sink into that hip a little bit? Then can you add the gaze up? So first it's lateral flexion, then it's hip flexibility, and then it's neck and shoulder flexibility, chest flexibility, right? 3 parts to this pose. So we just ease into it, ease out of it, right? So slowly come out of that pose. Arms down. Let's have the right toes face the gym, left toes face the mirror, revolving triangle. You might need a block with this. Have it handy if you need it. Float the arms up, shift, reach, windmill. There's triangle, and then take this top hand and we're bringing it down. Maybe on a block, maybe on your shin, maybe to your mat. Float the left arm up. See if you can go along with your shoulder. The palm would be facing the wall behind you, which is the cabinet wall. If that long lever arm doesn't feel good on your shoulder, get rid of it. Place your palm on the sacrum and just concentrate on the rotation part, right? Still has that benefit. And then let's lower that left arm. Inhale, lift with the right, come out of that pose. Lower the arms down. Let's have the left toes face the gym, right toes face the back wall. Float the arms up. Shift the left hip to mirror wall, reach to back wall, windmill, find triangle. Take the top right hand shin block or mat, and then float the right arm up. Palm facing the cabinet wall. See how that gaze feels. Trying to gaze up at that point. And then lower that right arm. Inhale, lift the left to come back out of it and lower back down. All right, so let's have one more. So let's have the right toes face the gym, left toes face the mirror. Let's bend this front knee, forearm resting, and let's bring this arm overhead. And we'll do our shoulder opener with movements. So with inhale, on the exhale, wipe that table in front of you and bring it up and over. Wipe the table. And bring it up and exhale as you wipe the table. Inhale, bring it up. One more time. Exhale, wipe that table. Inhale, bring it up. Let's hold it here. Waiting for that exhale. Take another inhale. And on the exhale, lower to your side body and wipe the table in the direction. Lower to your side body. Wipe the table. One more time. Lower to your side body. Wipe the table. Big inhale, lift. I'm straightening the left leg. Let's see, right hand on right leg, flip the left arm up. That's reverse. Triangle. Reach the top fingertips, lower it back down. Let's have the left toes face the gym, right toes face the back wall. Bend that. Let's see, right knee. Forearm resting. Bring the left arm overhead. Standing lateral bend. Take an inhale, and on that exhale, wipe the table. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, wipe that table. Exhale, wipe that table. Inhale, let's hold it here. Wait for the exhale, and on the exhale, lower to your side body first, and wipe the table in this direction. Lower to your side body and wipe the table. And lower to your side body, wipe the table. Big inhale, lift, straighten the right leg, left hand on left leg, flip the right arm up, reverse, triangle. Inhale, left, and exhale, lower. So let's have the right toes face the gym initially. Left toes face the mirror, and then we'll take that step forward, finding the cross-country skiing tracks. I'll change my foot position to be on the same leg as you, and we can interlace hand to elbow, maybe not hand to elbow, or namaste is a tougher one. It's a little deeper, right between those shoulders, and exhale, fold over that left leg for pyramid on this side. Remember your options. Bending that front knee if you need it, okay? It's intense. Release the hands, place take a step back. All right. We're going to walk our hands to our feet and then bend the knees. And let's roll on up. We'll roll the shoulders back. So if you need to be bio tools that help us with our balance, finding that dristi, that focal point, in Sanskrit they're called bandhas. Pull that belly button in, lift the pelvic floor. Translates into the word locks, helps lock our center. But I include those obliques, right? Just all the help we can get, right? So remember, if you just don't have it today, I'm not sure what I'm gonna be like today. Heel, I call it the kickstand, just my big toes got a little bit of weight. The majority of the weight's over here. You can be low. Just try not to have your heel on your knee because your knee is not meant to bend that way, okay? That's not good for you. So if you're going higher, I'm gonna try to get the higher positions. I like hugging my knee in first and then try to find my placement. My foot first, my dristi, my hand placement that can be in prayer, it can be in T, it could be in V. Hands together lifting, supposedly harder. I kind of like it. My makes me feel longer. And lower and lower and breath center. Weight on that right leg, finding your focal point. If you need that little added stretch to get your foot where it needs to be, and then find your hand placement. And please feel free to change this time if you want. Variation. And then lower the arms, lower the legs, feet center, breath center. Great work, everybody. If you left your mat, come on back. Big inhale. Exhale, fold. Standing forward bend. And let's go hand to elbow behind the legs, bending the knees. First, I should have said that, sorry. And then with your exhale, just slowly start straightening the knees to find your new edge. My knees are not totally straight. I'm getting enough stretch, but them slightly bent. You're just looking for whatever stretch is great for you. Can you take your deep breath where you're at? Add stretch for hamstrings, obviously, right between those shoulder blades. Really good. Release the arms. Let's bring your knees down and let's find child's pose. Whether you like maybe you like having your knees touching. I like my knees wide. Sit bones reaching back. Maybe you like your forehead on the mat. If you don't, you can stack your hands or use a block. You can have your palms up, facing up, I should say, on either side of the body, or you can have your palms facing down, reaching overhead. I was trained to call this devotional, but it's another form of child's pose. Choose what feels just perfect for you today. Get reacquainted with our breath. And then we're going to come up and we're going to do mermaid today for our back exercise. It is not everybody's favorite. I'll just warn you. So here's the deal. If you're like, Pam, that just bothers my knees, then I'd like you to just use it as a rotation and don't do it as a back lifting thing. This is basically what it is. So I'm going to start with my left leg forward. We're facing the gym wall. And you can use your hands to help lift you up and lower you back down. But if you can do it without hands, what it is, it's pelvic floor, but it's considered a back exercise. You are using your lower back and your obliques to lift. It's what we use to get up off the floor, guys, every time we do it. But this really concentrates on, when I first saw it, that's not a back exercise. And then I did, I'm like, holy cow, it's a really great back exercise. But you know, if you're not, and it is a little strain on the knees, so just listen to your body, okay? So let's start with our hands down on like one in front of us facing the gym wall and one mirror wall, okay? And then just lift up and come back down. And then see if you can do it hovering the hands. Okay, so it's inner thighs too, yeah? Everything, squeezing center, lifting. Genie arms, kind of make it a little bit more exact, huh? We're doing 4 more of those. So you feel how that's your quadratus lumborum muscles. Goes from your pelvis to your rib cage, yes? Along with the obliques. One more maybe. Oh. Okay, good job. Let's go to the other side. All right, so now the right knee's in front. Don't be surprised to have one side when we're walking, huh? Like your brain's like, what? We good? All right. So lift up, come back down. Maybe cover the hands. And maybe G arms. We got 4 more if you got it in. Last one. Let's sit down. All right, let's do cobbler's pose to get those inner thighs stretched. So that's where your bottoms of your feet touch and you're just pressing your knees down towards your mat. All right, and then let's come on our abdomen with the right ear down on the mat. This is designed to be a neck stretch, and if it's too intense, place your forearm, right forearm underneath that right ear. And if that still doesn't relieve the strain, then don't do it. Stack your hands and have your forehead on stacked hands. That's not a stretch for you. It's okay. At least today, right? And then switch sides. Now, some of us have natural or surgical fusions, so doesn't allow this full rotation. It's okay. Listen to your body, don't force it. Chin on the mat, hands come directly underneath the shoulders. We're coming into cobra pose, another back exercise. Squeeze those inner thighs, belly button in, pelvis pushing down. Hover the hands an inch or 2 off your mat, reaching through the crown of the head. Think of shining that heart forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other after that lift. And you get a little bit more of a lift of that sternum. Back extension. Thoracic spine is the mover. Breathe. Lower the right ear down, palms are up. Chin on the mat. Hands again come underneath the shoulders for, on the mat though, for King Cobra. So initiate from the spine, right? Inhale, reach through the crown, lift that sternum, and then place the weight into your hands and lift into King Cobra. Whatever is appropriate for you. Shoulders are down the back and elbows are hugging in. Lower back down, left ear on the mat to finish that neck stretch first. And press back into devotional. Sit bones reaching back, fingertips reaching forward. Come back to all fours. We are coming into our pigeon pose, so sleeping pigeon, half pigeon and sleeping pigeon. If you know that is too deep of a opening for you, I want you to instead come down into figure 4. Okay, first supine and then lifting in the air. Otherwise, we're going to first come into our downward dog. And then we're going to lift our right leg. And we're going to bring our knee through. It's not the foot. Lead with the knee towards that right wrist. Right knee to right wrist. And then left toe reaching back. And then we sink into that hip first. This leg can be diagonal, a little more opening is perpendicular. I'm only adding this because there's several of you that can do it. It is more advanced. It's not exactly gentle, but if you can bring that foot back, that adds on a quad opener. And then coming onto your forearms for sleeping pigeon. And then you can choose whether to stay on the forearms, stacked fists or hands, or all the way down. Fingertips reaching towards the mirror. Check in with your breath. Check in with the shoulders. Check in with your jaw, soft jaw. Lift the head, walk the hands back, curl back on that back toe, press back into downward dog, lift that right leg in 3 leg circles in one direction. And if you did figure 4, you can still do 3 leg circles in the air in one direction and then 3 in the other direction. Lower that foot down, lift the other leg up and needle that knee through. And then think of the toes reaching back and forearms, actually, we're first sinking in, sorry. Adding, if it's available. And release, coming onto forearms. And finding your sleeping pigeon. And then lifting, coming back to the hands, curl back on that back toe. Lift up into downward dog, 3 leg circles on one direction. And 3 in the other. Lower that foot down, bring the knees down. And let's roll onto your back and give those knees a hug. And I'll see what's going on. Knees a hug, rotate the ankles, and then grab your yoga strap. Place the strap in the arch of that right foot. And you're guiding that knee towards your chest. I have both hands holding the strap at this point. And I have a micro bend in my knee, but if I bend my knee too much, I will lose the stretch for the back thigh. Nice hamstring stretch. Almost think about reaching through that heel though. Feel how that aids. Adding to the stretch. So then I'm going to have my right hand hold both straps and my left arm is going to be in a T. I'm going to let that right leg float out to the right. I'm going to flex the foot that's on the floor. Think of pulling the toes towards you. That anchors the pelvis. And you'll get a much more effective stretch for that inner thigh. And then inhale, bring it back center. Let the left hand hold the straps. Right arm comes in the T. Once again, counters the weight. If you make the toe be a little pigeon toe, you'll get a little more in the hip. Bring that leg across body. If it feels okay to lift up the hip, go for it. If it doesn't, don't. And I'm going to turn my head away from that leg and reaching through the right fingertips. Notice the stretch of the chest. Going down the waist and spine, hip, and maybe even down the side of that leg. Bring that leg back up, switch sides. Left foot in the strap, right leg comes down. Guide that left knee in the direction of your chest, finding your hamstring stretch. Breathe. Left hand holds the straps. Right arm is in the T. Float that left leg out to the left. Flex the foot that's on the floor. So toes being pulled towards you. Anchoring the pelvis. That nice inner thigh stretch. Bring that leg up, other hand holds the straps, other arm goes into T. Have the toes go a little pigeon-toed, and then bring it across body, finding your range of motion. I turn my head away. This is a spinal twist. I'm reaching through the fingertips. Notice the stretch now on the left chest, shoulder area, waist, spine, hip, down the side of the leg. Bring that leg up, release the strap, and we're ready for Shavasana, relaxation. Get reacquainted with that breath, in through the nose, out through the nose. Try to have the breath be effortless at this part of the practice. And imagine as if you have the ability to direct that oxygen to flow down to your toes, the balls of the feet, the arches, the heels, the ankles. Let the feet fall heavy. Allow the oxygen to flow into your calves and shins, knees, quads, hamstrings. Let the legs fall heavy. Allow the oxygen to flow into the glutes, the small of your back. The lats spreading wide as the shoulders release. And then any tension in the abdomen subsiding as the chest opens and the shoulders just let go. Allow the oxygen to flow into the biceps and triceps, elbows, forearms, wrists, and into each fingertip. Allow the oxygen to flow up the back of the neck, around the skull to your brow. Soft eyes, heavy jaw, soft throat. Just allow your body to bathe in that oxygen. Let it cleanse you. Almost sense that oxygen nourishing every cell of your body. Let it restore you. And allow that oxygen to linger in areas of concern. Let it begin the healing process. Just taking notice how peaceful you feel. Remember, you can get here just by remembering your breath. Find yourself stressed anytime during the day. This breathing can help greatly. And another tool is bringing to mind that person that you are so grateful to have in your life. Cherish this person. And just bringing your mind to gratefulness, to thankfulness, will help you get out of the stress. Guarantee it. With your next breath, wiggling fingers and toes, bring awareness back. With your next breath, bring your knees into your chest. Allow the knees to drop to one side as you slowly roll up into a comfortable seated position with your hands at your heart center. And the greeting in India, short translation, the light, the love in me, salutes and honors the light and love in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thanks so much, guys. Great work tonight. And the box for the yoga straps are right here. All right, guys. I'm running a little over and there's another class, so I gotta get going, but love you. Oh, Jean, thanks for putting that camera on. Okay, and I'll end the recording now.